Maya Johnson left her office a little early that afternoon. The sun was still up and the sky looked soft and calm after a light rain. She had one small errand before going home. Her sister's baby shower was in 2 days, and she wanted to add a sweet baby blanket to the gift bag. She also needed to exchange a blouse she had bought last week. The size was wrong, but she had kept the receipt safely tucked inside the clear store bag. She liked to keep things neat and simple, so she placed the old blouse folded in that same clear bag and put her wallet and keys in a small tote on her shoulder. She knew exactly where she was going, and she expected the whole visit would take 15 minutes at most. The store sat at the corner of a clean, wide plaza. The glass doors opened to a bright lobby with mannequins dressed in late summer clothes. A sign near the entrance caught her eye. It said, "We welcome all customers. For exchanges, please bring your receipt. If you need help, ask at the service desk." It made her smile a little. Good. She had the receipt. This should be easy. Inside, the store was busy in a normal way. A group of teenagers laughed near the graphic tees. A father pushed a stroller past a table stacked with folded jeans. A cheerful playlist played softly overhead. The lights were strong but warm, and the air carried the clean scent of cotton and cardboard. Maya moved toward the service desk in the back because she liked to do the exchange first before shopping. She walked steadily, not too fast, not slow. She had a plan. Exchange the blouse, then look for the baby blanket with tiny stars on it, the one her sister would love. As Maya stepped around a display, a floor associate named Alma noticed her. Alma had a gentle face and quick eyes. She wore a name tag with a small silver heart sticker on it. "Hi there," Alma said kindly. "Can I help with anything today?" "Exchange, please," Maya said, lifting the clear bag a little. "I have the receipt." "Perfect," Alma said. "Service desk is right there. They'll take care of you." Alma noticed the receipt right through the bag and gave a small nod of assurance. She had done this job long enough to know when things were simple. This one looked simple. She returned to folding sweaters but kept a friendly awareness of the desk, just in case the new cashier needed help. At the service desk, a trainee named Kayla stood behind the register. Kayla's hands moved carefully over the keys. She was new, and the system still felt like a puzzle to her. Beside her, a thick policy binder lay open with bright tabs and a sticky note that read, "Ask a supervisor if unsure." Kayla's brow furrowed as she tried to remember which screen to open for a straight exchange. She had learned it yesterday, but the steps blurred when the line grew. "Hi," Maya said with an easy smile. "I'd like to exchange this blouse. Wrong size, I have the receipt right here." "Great," Kayla said, a little nervous but polite. "Let me just, find the exchange screen." She reached for the binder, then pulled her hand back. "I think I can do it. 1 second, please." She took the clear bag, slid out the neatly folded blouse and the receipt, and scanned the barcode. The screen flickered. She clicked again, but landed in the wrong menu. She felt the heat of her own worry rise. "I'm sorry," she said, cheeks pink. "I might need a supervisor to approve this." "No problem," Maya said. Her voice stayed calm and warm. "Take your time." As Kayla lifted the small paging phone, the store manager on duty, Laura Bennett, stepped out from a short hallway near the office. Laura was in her 40s with firm posture and a clipped walk. She had been running short on staff all week and today felt tight. A truck delivery had arrived late. 2 associates had called in sick. A pricing update had to be finished before the evening. She was tired and the clock seemed to run faster than her feet. When the page for supervisor to service desk came through, she adjusted her earpiece and headed over, face set, steps quick. Laura reached the desk, and in that first moment, she took in the scene in pieces. A clear bag on the counter with a folded blouse, a receipt, a trainee cashier, and a customer with a small tote. She did not stop to ask Kayla what she had already done. She did not look at the binder or the screen. She felt the press of time and moved with it, not with care. "What's going on?" she asked, in a tone that sounded more sharp than she meant. "Exchange," Kayla said quickly. "Wrong size. I need an approval." Laura glanced at the blouse. She looked at Maya's tote. She looked back at the blouse. "Everything on the counter, please," she said to Maya. "What else do you have with you today?" Maya, surprised by the tone, lifted her tote and set it down. "Just my wallet and keys," she said calmly. "I'm exchanging this blouse. Here's the receipt." She tapped the paper with one fingertip. "Uh-huh," Laura said, eyes still moving. "And are you purchasing anything else today?" "I plan to," Maya said. "A baby blanket." She smiled again, trying to keep the moment soft. "For my sister." Behind them, Alma paused in her folding. She turned her head just a little and listened. The words felt tight, and she did not like it. She had seen Maya walk in with the clear bag and the receipt. She had seen that it was all normal. She took 2 steps closer, ready to help if needed. Kayla opened her mouth to explain that the barcode had scanned, that she just needed to find the right approval screen. But Laura, still working from speed and stress, moved ahead. "I'll handle it," she said. "Open the tote, please." Maya took a breath and kept her voice steady. "I'm happy to show anything you need," she said. "May we do the exchange first? I have the receipt and the original item right here." A young man named Jordan, who had been browsing phone cases at a nearby rack, turned his head toward the service desk. He did not know anyone involved, but his attention was pulled by the sound of a voice that felt too strict for such a small thing. He looked at Maya's clear bag and the neat receipt. He felt a small worry rise in his chest. He stayed where he was, quiet, simply watching for now. Maya remembered the sign at the door. "We welcome all customers." She thought of her sister's baby shower and how she wanted this errand to be quick. She did not want trouble. She did not want to argue. She kept her face open and respectful. "I can open my tote," she repeated. "But can we also look at your policy? I believe the receipt should be enough to start the exchange." Laura did not answer that question. She leaned toward Kayla's screen, clicked 3 times, and pulled up a page that was not the right one. Kayla winced a little. "I think it's the other tab," she said softly. Her voice almost disappeared. "There's a specific exchange option." Laura straightened up and asked Maya, "When did you buy this?" "Last week," Maya said, pointing to the date on the receipt. "It was on sale, same style, just wrong size." Alma stepped forward now, gentle but clear. "I greeted her when she walked in," she said to Laura. "She had that same clear bag in the receipt. Everything looked fine." Laura's eyes flicked toward Alma for a second, then back to Maya. The store noise continued all around them. Soft music, rolling hangers, the beep of other registers. But the space at the service desk felt suddenly small, like a circle had closed around it. Kayla swallowed and tried again to find the right screen. Maya kept her hands visible on the counter, palms relaxed. She was careful with her body language because she wanted to keep everything calm. She did not raise her voice. She did not rush. "I'm happy to wait," she said. "I know you're busy." Laura glanced at the time on her watch. She felt in that moment that small edge of impatience that can make a person jump to a conclusion. It was a feeling, not a fact. She did not name it to herself, but it moved her all the same. "We've had issues lately," she said in a tight tone. "We have to be careful." "I understand," Maya said. "That is why I brought the receipt and kept the blouse in the store bag. I want to follow your rules." Jordan shifted his weight by the phone case rack. He was not sure if he should walk away or stay. Something about Maya's calm and the way the manager kept rushing made him uneasy. He moved a little closer, still, pretending to compare cases but really just making sure the situation stayed respectful. He had seen small moments like this turn into big ones when people forgot to slow down. Alma looked at Kayla and gave her a tiny nod. "Go ahead and scan the receipt again," she suggested softly. "Then press the exchange button on the top, right? It will bring up the approval screen." Kayla did as Alma said. The screen responded. A small green line appeared. "Progress." "Okay," Kayla said, a bit of relief in her voice. "I think it's working. I just need a supervisor code." Maya felt a wave of gratitude for Alma's calm help. This was how it should go. Step by step. No rush, no assumptions. She stood a little easier and let her eyes rest on the baby items, display not far away. She saw a soft blue blanket with stars and a cream one with tiny clouds. She imagined her sister opening the gift, touching the fabric, smiling. Simple joys, she thought. That is what I came for. Laura crossed her arms. She could have typed in her code then and there. She could have asked two simple questions. Is the return within 30 days? And is the tag still attached? The answer to both was yes. But the press of her day, the small fear that she might miss something, the shadow of a general worry that had nothing to do with this customer, all of it sat on her shoulders. She started to speak again in that tight tone when Alma, kind but firm, added, "She has everything we need. The receipt, the item, the bag. It's all here." Maya nodded. "Yes, if there is anything." Laura's fingers hovered over the keyboard. For a heartbeat, it looked like she would type the supervisor code and end the whole thing. Kayla watched the screen and held her breath. Alma stood a few steps back, ready to help if asked. Maya kept, her hands still on the counter, calm and patient, trusting the process and the receipt in plain view. Then the moment changed. Laura drew her hand back as if reminded of something else and straightened her shoulders. Her eyes flicked once more to Maya's tote, then to the clear bag, then to Kayla's uncertain face. The easy path was right there, but a different path was calling to her stress and worry. "Hold on," Laura said. She took a small step away from the counter, then another. "I need to check something." Her voice was clipped. She pressed the pager button at her waist and asked for Alma to cover the floor for a minute. Alma blinked, confused. She was already on the floor. She moved anyway, coming closer to keep an eye on the desk. Kayla glanced between them, unsure whether to speak. The green line on the screen sat there, steady and uncomplicated, waiting for one code. Maya let out a slow breath. "Is there a problem?" she asked gently. "I'm happy to help in any way. The receipt shows the date and the item. You can also check the tag and the brand." Laura did not answer. She stepped a little farther away and took out her phone. Her face was set, as if she were carrying a weight only she could see. She turned her back partly to the counter and lowered her voice. The training binder was open on the desk, and right there, in black and white, was the line that said, "Do not escalate unless there is clear evidence or a safety risk." Laura's eyes did not land on that line. She was remembering a meeting 2 weeks ago about shrink numbers and a late-night incident with a different customer that had left her, feeling exposed and judged by upper management. Those memories were not facts about this moment, but they were loud in her head. Alma's eyebrows lifted. She moved to the edge of the desk and spoke softly. "Laura, the system shows the exchange is valid. I saw her come in with the receipt. We can finish this right now." Her tone was supportive, not challenging. She did not want to make her manager feel attacked. She wanted to help everyone save time and face. Kayla found her voice. "Yes, it's the right receipt," she said carefully. "I just need your code. It's ready to approve." Laura looked over her shoulder, phone in hand. "I'll handle it," she said. The words came out firmer than she meant. She stepped a few feet farther, enough to feel separate from the counter. She dialed. Maya's eyes widened slightly, but she kept her composure. She could not hear every word, but she understood enough. Laura was calling for help that was not needed. Jordan, the bystander at the phone case rack, felt that familiar twist in his stomach, the kind that comes when you see a small problem about to grow for no reason. He had seen videos online of scenes like this. He had never been in one in person. He hesitated. He did not want to turn someone's moment into a spectacle, but he also knew that the presence of a camera sometimes made people slow down and choose their words more carefully. He lifted his phone in a natural way and opened the camera. He stood still, not in anyone's way, simply a quiet witness. Maya looked at Alma, then at Kayla. "Is there another manager?" she asked, still calm. Maybe someone else can approve if she's busy. I really don't want to cause trouble. I just want to follow your policy. Alma gave her a kind nod. You are not causing trouble, she said. You did everything right. Please hold on one moment. She turned her head and called to a senior associate near the fitting rooms. Can you radio the office and ask if the district team is in today? Her voice carried just enough to be heard without drawing a crowd. Laura finished her first call quickly, then made a second. The words, possible theft, left her mouth in a low tone that still reached the ear of someone nearby. Maya felt heat rise in her cheeks. She looked down at the receipt again, the simple piece of paper that should have been enough. She reminded herself to breathe. She kept her hands open and visible. She did not argue. She did not make any sudden movements. She stood, steady and respectful, because she wanted this to stay small. Kayla swallowed hard. She had been taught to trust the system steps and to listen to the customer's words. She had also been taught to respect her manager's direction. The two lessons were pulling at her in different ways. She pressed her palms against the counter and spoke very softly. Ma'am, she said to Maya, I'm so sorry for the delay. Your exchange is valid. I see it right here. Thank you, Maya said. I appreciate your help. Jordan shifted his stance, angling his phone slightly so the screen captured the counter, the clear bag, the receipt, and the calm way Maya stood. He did not speak. He did not want to add pressure. He just thought that facts would matter later if anyone tried to twist this moment into something it was not. Alma decided to try once more. She stepped closer to Laura, who was now ending her second call. The policy says we should finish the exchange if the receipt is present and within the window, Alma said, keeping her tone gentle. We can verify with cameras if needed, but it looks straightforward. Laura's jaw tightened. We've had issues, she said. I am not going to let another one slip past me. She put the phone down on the desk, screen face down, as if closing a decision. Maya's heart beat a little faster, but her voice stayed even. May I see your policy page for exchanges? She asked. I want to make sure I'm following it correctly. She knew the words policy and receipt were safe and solid. They did not accuse anyone. They pointed to the steps. Kayla glanced at the binder. It's right here, she started to say, but Laura lifted a hand slightly, a small motion that stopped her. Kayla let the words fade. She could feel how delicate the air had become. At that exact time, a soft chime sounded over the store speakers, the kind used when a service call comes in from the front door desk. Laura looked toward the ceiling grid as if the sound had annoyed her. She picked up the store phone behind the service counter and pressed a short code. This is the manager, she said into the receiver. Yes, please note we have a possible issue at service. I have called it in. Her words were careful. She avoided anything dramatic, but the meaning spread like ripples. A mother pushing a stroller slowed down as she passed, sensing something tense but not understanding it. She moved on, deciding not to stare. A college student putting socks into a basket glanced over, curious, then returned to shopping. Only a few people near the desk felt the pull of the moment. Most of the store kept moving, which somehow made the small circle of tension feel even tighter, like a knot forming in an otherwise calm fabric. Maya thought of her sister again, of the baby shower planned with cute decorations and a simple cake. She thought of how much she wanted to be out of the store in 5 minutes with a soft blanket and a pretty bag. She did not want this. She did not want to be the center of a situation where common sense and kindness should have been enough. But she also knew that dignity mattered most when it was tested. So she stood in her dignity. Alma took a gentle step closer to Maya. Would you like to wait by the baby section? She asked quietly. I can keep your place here and call you the second we finish this. Maya considered it. Thank you, she said. I prefer to stay right here so there is no confusion. She smiled at Alma, a small, brave smile that shared the same message without words. Let's keep it clear and simple. Kayla found her courage. Laura, she said, respectful but firmer than before. The system confirms the original purchase. The date, And the item. There are no alerts. It is a normal exchange. May I complete it? Laura looked at the young cashier, then at Alma, then at Maya. Her expression softened for a second as if she could see the easy path again. Then the memory of that meeting 2 weeks ago returned, louder than anything else. She shook her head once. No, she said. Not yet. Jordan felt his chest tighten. He quietly adjusted his phone again, steady and patient. He did not want to make anyone feel watched, but he also knew that accuracy depended on evidence. He kept his distance and made sure the camera captured the quiet respect in Maya's posture, the receipt on the counter, the way Alma stood beside her like a calm anchor. The store music shifted to a gentle guitar. A small gust of cool air lingered near the service desk from the ceiling vent. The world was ordinary and kind, and yet the moment in this small circle had been pushed off the ordinary path. Alma's eyes moved toward the open binder again. The policy says to verify with the receipt first, she said in a voice that almost sounded like a reminder to herself. We have verified. Maya nodded. Yes, she said softly. You have. Laura picked up her phone again and stared at the blank screen for a long second. She placed it back down. Then, without announcing it to the desk, she walked a few steps toward the end of the counter and pulled out the store's direct line to local police. Her voice lowered, but the words were clear enough for Alma and Kayla to understand her intent. She gave the address. She used the phrase, possible theft situation. She said there was a customer at the service desk. She did not say that. The receipt was in plain sight. She did not say that the system had verified the purchase. She ended the call quickly, as if it were a small, simple step. Kayla's face fell. She felt a gentle shock, the kind that comes when something simple is made hard without need. Alma CO. Dana took one quiet step closer to the service desk and spoke in a calm, even voice that carried just enough to be heard. Good afternoon, she said. My name is Dana. I help with store operations for this region. May I ask what's happening here? Her tone was gentle, not sharp, and it created a small space of ease. Alma felt her shoulders relax. Kayla looked relieved. Maya turned slightly toward Dana and gave a small nod, thankful that someone had finally introduced themselves and asked a clear question. Laura answered first. We have a possible issue, she said, keeping her words short. I'm handling it. Dana kept her eyes friendly and neutral. Thank you, she said. Let's walk through it together. Kayla, what have you done so far? Kayla pointed to the screen. I scanned the receipt and the item, she said. The system found the original purchase. The dates match our exchange window. There are no alerts. I just need a supervisor code to approve. Dana nodded once. Good. Alma, what did you see? I greeted the customer when she came in, Alma said. She had the clear store bag and the receipt inside. She went straight to the service desk. It looked normal. Dana turned to Maya. Thank you for your patience, she said warmly. Do you mind if I look at your receipt and the item for one moment? Of course, Maya said. She slid the paper closer and kept her hands open on the counter. Dana read the receipt, checked the barcode, and looked at the blouse. The tag was attached. The fold was neat. Everything matched the item number on the paper. Thank you, Dana said again. She turned to Kayla. Please open the exchange screen you were using. Kayla did, and the green progress line appeared again, steady as before. Dana studied the entries and then moved her attention to the open policy binder. She placed one fingertip under a short paragraph printed in plain text. Exchanges with receipt. Verify barcode and date. Approve when valid. Do not escalate unless there is clear evidence or a safety risk. Dana lifted her eyes to Laura. Have you reviewed this policy today? She asked, still calm. Laura hesitated. We've had issues lately, she said. I don't want another one. I understand wanting to protect the store, Dana replied. That's my job too. Let's make sure we protect what matters, the facts, our customers, and our team. Her voice stayed steady, and there was no judgment in it, only direction. She turned slightly and spoke to Kayla again. Before we go further, please save the transaction as pending just in case we need to step away for 1 minute. Kayla clicked and saved. The screen confirmed. Dana looked toward the small office door nearby. I'm going to review your camera feed for the past 10 minutes, she said. Alma, would you stay with Ms. Johnson? Kayla, thank you for your careful steps. Laura, please join me in the office for a quick check. Maya appreciated that Dana used her last name with respect. Alma gave Maya a small smile. We're almost done, Alma said softly. You did everything right. Inside the office, Dana clicked a keyboard and brought up the entrance camera. The timestamp showed Maya stepping through the doors with the clear store bag already in her hand. The receipt was visible through the plastic. The video showed her walking directly to the service desk. There were no detours, no hidden moves, nothing confusing. It was an ordinary, simple scene. Dana watched the short clip twice, then selected the service desk camera. She saw Kayla scan the receipt, saw Alma move closer, saw Laura arrive and step back, then step away with a phone. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the air vent. Dana paused the video. The customer came in with the item and receipt. In plain sight and followed posted steps, she said. The system verified the original purchase. That is the definition of a valid exchange. Why did we escalate? Laura stood with her arms folded, her voice lowered. I had a bad feeling, she said. We were short-staffed. I didn't want something to slip by. Dana listened without interrupting. Thank you for being honest about what you felt, she said. Now let's talk about what we know. The policy says we act on facts. We have facts. We also have a sign at the front that promises a welcoming experience for every customer who follows the rules. We must keep that promise. Dana clicked once more and saved a short clip for her report. Then she picked up the phone and dialed the front desk. Alma, she said into the receiver, please let Ms. Johnson know that we will complete her exchange. Kayla may proceed as soon as I return. Also, please set aside the soft blue baby blanket with stars for her. I would like to cover it as a courtesy for her patience. She hung up, then dialed another number. Dispatch? She asked, when the line connected. This is Dana from the store on Pine and 3rd. We had a call from our manager about a possible theft. We have reviewed the video and the transaction. There is no issue. If officers are en route, I'll meet them at the door and let them know the situation is resolved. She ended the call and faced Laura again. Let's return to the desk, she said. We'll make this right quickly and clearly. Back at the counter, Maya stood as she had before, calm, steady, patient. Alma had moved the blue star blanket to the edge of the display, ready to place it in a small bag. Kayla waited with the approval field still blinking on her screen. Jordan, the bystander, kept his phone lowered now, but he stayed nearby. He felt the air change as soon as Dana stepped beside the counter again. It felt like the first cool breeze after a heavy day. Ms. Johnson, Dana said kindly. Thank you for waiting. Your exchange is approved. We also set aside the baby blanket you liked. It will be complimentary today, and I'll give you a short note from the store to apologize for the delay. Maya's face softened. Thank you, she said quietly. I appreciate your help. Dana gave a small nod to Kayla. Please complete the exchange, she said. Use code 4283. Her tone was calm, confident and gentle, as if she were placing the final piece in a simple puzzle. Kayla typed in the code, and the system responded at once. A soft chime confirmed the approval. The printer hummed and produced a clean slip. Kayla handed it to Maya with both hands. Here you go, she said. Again, I'm sorry for the delay. It's okay, Maya said. You were professional and kind. Dana turned to Alma. Please bag the blanket and add a small note card from the drawer, she said. Alma did, choosing a card with tiny gold dots and the words, with thanks. Just then, the front doors opened, and 2 officers walked in, calm, alert and polite. They did not move fast. They did not place hands on any equipment. Dana stepped forward to meet them halfway between the entrance and the service desk. "Hello," she said, offering a friendly smile. "Thank you for coming. We no longer need assistance. We verified the transaction and reviewed video. The customer followed all rules. There is no theft and no safety issue." The officers listened and then looked toward the service desk. From where they stood, they could see Maya holding her approved exchange slip and Alma placing a folded blanket into a small bag. The scene looked ordinary and settled. One of the officers asked, "Would you like us to check in with the customer or the manager?" Dana nodded. "A brief check is fine," she said. "It may help everyone feel complete." They walked over together. Dana introduced everyone simply and respectfully. "Ms. Johnson, these officers came in response to an earlier call," she explained. "I have told them the situation is resolved." Maya greeted the officers with a calm nod. "Thank you," she said. "I had the receipt and the system. Approved my exchange." "We can see that," one officer said, polite and even. "We're glad it's sorted." He looked at Jordan for a moment and gave a small nod, a silent acknowledgement that witnesses often help truth stay clear, then returned his attention to Dana. "We'll mark the call as handled," he said. "No incident. Thank you for your time," Dana replied. The officers left as quietly as they had arrived. No lights, no noise, just normal steps on a normal day. Jordan took a single step forward, still keeping a respectful distance. "Ma'am," he said to Maya, "I recorded some of this because I was worried. If you don't need it, I can delete it. If you want a copy for your records, I can send it." Maya thought for a moment. "Thank you for caring," she said gently. "I don't think I'll need it, but I appreciate your kindness and your calm." Jordan nodded and slipped his phone into his pocket. He felt a small sense of relief. The scene had chosen the better path after all. Dana turned back to the team. "Kayla, excellent job trusting the system and staying polite," she said. "Alma, thank you for your steady support and clear words. Ms. Johnson, I'm truly sorry for the delay. Here is a short note from the store and our customer care number. If anything about this visit felt hard, please tell them. We want to learn." Maya accepted the note. The printed words were simple. "We value your time and your trust. We're sorry for the delay today. Please accept this complimentary gift as a thank you for your patience." There was a small signature line where Dana wrote her name and title. Laura stood at the edge of the group, watching. The relief on Kayla's face, the gratitude in Maya's eyes, the calm way the officers had come and gone. Each of these things told a clear story. The facts had spoken, not the fears. The policy had held, not a feeling. For a brief second, Laura looked like she might say something. Maybe an apology, maybe a grateful breath. Instead, she stayed quiet, as if not yet ready to step into the light of the truth that had been placed gently on the counter for all to see. Maya lifted the small shopping bag with the blanket on. Dana closed the office door behind her and invited Laura to sit. The room was small and plain. A neat desk, a computer, a chair with a short back. On the wall, there was a framed sheet that listed the store's core values: respect, facts, care. The air felt quiet after the tense moments at the service desk. Outside, the store music went on, but in here everything was still. "Let's start with what we know," Dana said in a calm voice. She did not sound angry. She sounded clear. Ms. Johnson came in with a clear store bag. Her receipt was in the bag. She went straight to the service desk. The system verified the purchase. There was no safety risk. The policy says, approve valid exchanges. Do not call the police unless there is clear evidence or danger. Laura nodded once, eyes down. Her hands were folded in her lap. She looked tired. "I understand," she said softly. Dana turned the computer screen so they could both see. She had pulled up the entrance camera. The video showed Maya walking in with the clear bag and receipt. Dana clicked forward. The service desk camera showed Kayla scanning the receipt and the green line on the screen. It showed Alma stepping in to support. It also showed Laura moving away to make the call. Dana let the clip play, then paused it again. "Did you see any behavior that met our threshold for escalation?" Dana asked. "Anything that matched the list on page 12 of our policy? Concealed items, tag removal, exit without payment, or a safety concern?" Laura shook her head slowly. "No," she said. "I didn't see those things. I had a bad feeling. We've had loss this month. I didn't want to miss something." Dana kept her tone steady. "I hear that you felt pressure," she said. "Pressure is real, but our duty is to act on facts. We rely on steps, not feelings. The steps were clear. The facts were clear. We promise customers a fair process. We must keep that promise every time." She opened a folder on the screen labeled Coaching Logs. The dates were recent. The first note said, "Reminder, review de-escalation policy. Ask questions first." The second note, from last week, said, "Counseling. Do not bypass receipt verification. Avoid making assumptions." Dana turned the screen back to face Laura. "These notes show we already addressed this pattern," Dana said. "Today, during a live audit, it happened again. It happened after 2 coaching sessions. It led to a 911 call without evidence. The result could have been much worse. Thankfully, it was not, because other people followed the steps." Laura's eyes glistened a little, but she stayed quiet. She understood the weight of those lines. She also understood what usually came next when coaching did not change behavior. Dana took a breath. Her voice stayed gentle, but it did not waver. "For the record," she said, "I need to ask, is there any information I'm missing? Anything that would change the facts we just reviewed?" Laura shook her head. "No," she said. "You have the facts." Dana nodded. She reached for a small folder on the desk. Inside were 2 printed forms and a simple checklist. "Laura," she said, "based on the verified facts, the policy violations, and the prior documented coaching, your employment will be terminated effective today. This decision is final. It is not about one bad day. It is about the pattern we discussed," which continued despite clear guidance. "Because this occurred during a compliance audit and involved a 911 call without cause, we must act quickly." Laura closed her eyes for a second. When she opened them, she looked older, as if a long week had moved across her face in a moment. "I understand," she said quietly. "I made the wrong call." Dana slid the first form forward. "This is your separation notice," she said. "It lists the policy sections violated: de-escalation, receipt first verification, and police involvement guidelines. It also lists the coaching dates. Please read it, ask any questions, and then sign to confirm you received it. Your signature does not mean you agree. It means you acknowledge receipt." Laura read in silence. The words were simple and direct. She signed. Dana slid the second form forward. "This is an opportunity to write a short statement if you choose," she said. "It's optional. You can also email one later." Laura stared at the blank space. After a long moment, she wrote a single line. "I was stressed and afraid of loss, but I ignored policy and feelings took over. I am sorry." She signed her name again. Dana checked the last box on the checklist. "Please hand me your keys and the code card," she said gently. "You can collect personal items from your locker. I will walk with you. We do this quietly and privately. There is no need for a scene." She meant it. She respected the humanity of the person even as she upheld the rules. They stood. Laura gave the keys and card. Dana opened the door and let Laura step out first. The walk to the back hallway was short. No one on the sales floor watched. Alma stayed with a customer at the denim wall. Kayla helped a woman find a missing receipt. In her email, Jordan had left, satisfied that peace had returned. Maya was on her way out with a small bag and a soft smile of relief. In the hallway, Laura opened her locker, took out a sweater, a water bottle, and a small framed photo. No other items. She placed them in a plain tote. "Thank you for not making this loud," she said, almost a whisper. "We focus on dignity, even in hard moments," Dana said. "I wish you well." They walked back to the office. Dana handed Laura a final envelope with next steps, payroll contact, and a number for questions. We will pay out your remaining hours and unused time, Dana said. You will keep your benefits through the end of the month. HR's number is here. Laura nodded. Understood, she said. She took one more breath as if to steady herself, then walked to the side door where former employees exit. She did not look back. The door closed softly. 5 minutes had passed since Dana paused the video. It felt both fast and inevitable. Dana returned to the office and called corporate HR to report the separation. She explained the steps: video review, policy check, coaching history, decision, return of keys, exit. She sent the saved camera clip and the signed forms. She then typed a short, clear summary for the store record. Customer with receipt. Exchange valid. Policy ignored. Police called without cause. Correction made. Termination completed. Training scheduled. Next, Dana wrote a brief apology note for Maya, using the same simple language. She printed it on letterhead so it would feel official and sincere. She also drafted a team message to be read at the next shift meeting. We serve with respect. We follow facts. We do not escalate without evidence or safety risk. When unsure, ask. When a customer brings a receipt, we trust the process. She stepped onto the sales floor and gathered the small team near the fitting rooms. She kept her voice steady and kind. I want to thank you for your calm, she said. What happened at the desk was resolved because you followed the steps. Kayla, you trusted the system and kept your tone polite. Alma, you spoke up with facts. That is what we need here. Calm and facts. Kayla looked down, a little shy. I just did what the screen told me, she said. And that is the point, Dana replied, smiling gently. The system is a tool to help you when your day feels busy. Use it. Trust it. Ask for help early. We're a team. Alma asked a careful question. Will there be more training? She said. I want to make sure the new hires feel strong in these moments. Yes, Dana said. We will hold a quick session tomorrow and a longer one next week. We will practice the steps. We will review de-escalation. We will talk about how to slow down and observe. And we will remind each other why we do this. Because every person who walks in deserves fair treatment. A customer near the socks display overheard the gentle tone and saw the small group but did not hear words. They only noticed that the team looked calm and organized. That feeling spread, the way steady light fills a room after a flicker. Dana walked back to the service desk and checked the counter. The policy binder lay open to the right page. She placed a simple bookmark in it and taped a small card on the register. Receipt, scan, approve if valid. Ask, don't assume. The card looked almost like a recipe. It was meant to be that simple. Just then, Maya returned from the entrance. She had paused to read a text on her phone and had not yet reached her car. She came back to the service desk because she wanted to say one more thing. I'm leaving now, she told Alma and Kayla. I just wanted to thank you again. You were kind. Thank you for your patience, Alma said. We're truly sorry for the delay. Dana stepped over. Ms. Johnson, she said, I also want to thank you for staying calm. Your voice was steady. Your words were clear. You reminded us of the policy, and that helped us find the right path. Maya nodded. I know these jobs are hard, she said. I try to be patient. I only ask for fairness. You deserve it, Dana said simply, and we are committed to it. She offered her hand. Maya shook it, warm and brief. As Maya walked out for the second time, the sky had shifted to a softer gold. It looked like the kind of late afternoon that forgives small mistakes when people make them right. She felt lighter. She did not want to carry anger. She wanted to enjoy the rest of her day, wrap the baby blanket, and write a sweet note for her sister. Back inside, Dana sat at a corner table with her laptop and built the quick plan for the next day. She made a list. 10-minute huddle at opening. Respect, facts, steps. Role play 2 exchange scenarios, including a trainee needing help. Review the no escalation without evidence rule. Post the small recipe card at every register. Follow up one-on. The next morning, the store opened to cool air and soft light. Dana arrived early with a small stack of notes and a calm plan. She greeted the opening crew with a friendly smile and asked them to gather near the service desk for a quick huddle. Kayla stood on one side holding a pen and a notepad. Alma stood beside her, relaxed but focused. A few other associates joined, still waking up but ready to listen. "Good morning," Dana said in a clear, warm voice. "Today we keep things simple. Respect, facts, care. That's our recipe." She held up a small card that matched the ones she had taped to the registers. "Receipt, scan, approve if valid. Ask, don't assume. If your day feels heavy, slow down. Look at the steps. Ask a teammate. We win by doing small things right." The team nodded. They did a short role play. Alma played a customer with a return and a receipt. Kayla walked through the steps. Beep, scan, verify, approve. It felt easy. Then they switched. Kayla played the customer and Alma the cashier. Again, the system made the path clear. The group laughed softly when Kayla pretended to forget her receipt, and Alma showed her how to find the digital copy in an email. The laughter felt good. It was light and kind, not at anyone's expense. Dana closed the huddle with a simple promise. "If you're unsure, call me," she said. "I would rather answer a simple question than fix a big confusion later. We take care of customers and we take care of each other." She thanked them and stepped back so they could start their tasks. Business picked up as the morning turned bright. A man returned a sweater with the wrong size, and Kayla completed the exchange in 2 minutes. A grandmother brought a toy that made a squeak that wouldn't stop, and Alma helped her swap it for a soft teddy bear. A young woman bought a blouse for an interview and asked for a gift receipt for herself, just in case. The store felt calm. The team moved like a group that trusted the same map. Around lunchtime, Dana sent her report to corporate. It was clear and short. What happened, what was corrected, how the team would train, and what reminders would stay posted. She did not use heavy words. She used steady ones: verify, approve, respect, learn. A reply came back with appreciation and support for the training plan. A regional note went out to other stores with the same small recipe card attached. Simple tools travel fast when they work. By afternoon, a new paper sign appeared near the entrance, printed in friendly letters. "Welcome. Exchanges with a receipt are easy and fast. If you need help, please ask. We are glad you're here." The sign looked like a gentle hand at the door. In a quiet home across town, Maya placed the baby blanket and the small card into a gift bag with tissue paper the color of clouds. She sat at her table with a cup of tea and thought about the day before. She did not replay the hard parts. She looked for what had gone right. She remembered Alma's calm voice. She remembered Kayla's careful hands. She remembered Jordan standing nearby like a lighthouse, present and steady, not loud. And she remembered Dana's gentle leadership, like a hand that untangled a knot. Maya opened her laptop and wrote a short email to customer care. She kept it simple. "I visited your store yesterday to exchange a blouse and buy a baby blanket. There was a delay at first, but your team corrected it." Alma and Kayla were respectful and kind. Dana handled it with care and facts. "I left feeling heard and valued. Thank you for making it right." She hit send and felt a small warmth in her chest. It is good, she thought, to give thanks when people do better. Her phone buzzed. It was her sister, excited about the shower. They talked about tiny socks, sweet songs, and who would bring the cake. When the call ended, Maya tucked the gift bag by the door and smiled. The day felt light again, like a window had been opened. Elsewhere, Jordan sat at a cafe with his own cup of tea. He took out his phone and looked at the video he had recorded. The moments he had captured were calm and clear. A receipt on a counter, a customer standing with patience, a worker asking for a code, a leader arriving with steady words. He thought about posting it online, but he decided against it. The lesson already reached the people who needed it, he whispered to himself. He deleted the video and wrote a short, kind review instead. "Staff handled my visit with care. I saw respect and good training in action." He added a small star next to Kayla's name and Alma's name. then closed the app feeling at peace. On a quiet street, Laura walked slowly past neat houses and friendly trees. She carried a simple tote with the sweater and the framed photo she had taken from her locker. The morning was clear. Her thoughts were heavier. She replayed her choice in the office and how fast it all changed. She thought about the policy she had promised to follow, and the feeling that had pulled her away from it. And then she thought about the look of relief on the customer's face when the exchange finally went through. That was the face that mattered. Laura sat on a bench and took out a small notebook. She wrote in plain words, what I felt, rush, pressure, fear. What was true, receipt, policy, calm customer. What I should do next time, breathe, read the policy, ask a teammate. She underlined the last line and said it out loud. Next time. She wanted there to be a next time in her life, even if not at that store. She searched on her phone for a short class on conflict de-escalation and another on customer care. She found an evening course at a community center and signed up. She also wrote a brief message to Dana. Thank you for handling my exit with dignity. I will learn from this. She put the phone away and watched the light move through the leaves. It felt like a small beginning. 2 days later, the baby shower filled a living room with gentle music, bright smiles, and soft laughter. Maya's sister lifted the star blanket and pressed it to her face. It's perfect, she said. It feels like a hug. Maya smiled a full, quiet smile and told the short story, but in the kindest way, about good staff who learned, a calm leader who helped, and a plan that made things better. She did not use heavy words. She chose hopeful ones. The people in the room nodded. Someone said, that's how it should be. Back at the store, small good things kept happening. Kayla helped a customer find a digital receipt in her email by searching the store name and last month's date. There it is, she said, and the customer clapped her hands in delight. Alma noticed a new associate hesitating and stepped in beside her the way someone stands near a friend learning to balance. You've got this, she whispered, and walked her through the 3 steps with a smile. The little recipe card at the register caught the new associate's eye. She smiled back at it, grateful for simple guidance. A week passed. The store ran a thank you weekend with small discounts and a warm note at the door. We appreciate you. The email from corporate went out too, honest and short. It did not tell a big story, it told a small truth. We're strengthening training now so your exchanges are easy and fair. People read it and nodded. Most customers never knew what had happened on that one afternoon, and that was fine. What mattered was the feeling when they stepped inside. Welcome, clear steps, and people ready to help. One afternoon, Maya returned to pick up a tiny pair of socks that matched the blanket. The store looked the same but felt somehow kinder. She walked to the service desk and there was Kayla standing a little taller. Hi, Kayla said with a bright, real smile. Welcome back. How can I help today? Maya smiled back. Just shopping, she said. But I also wanted to say thank you again. Alma came over when she saw Maya. We're happy to see you, she said. How is your sister? She loved the blanket, Maya said. She said it feels like a hug. All 3 of them smiled. A new manager, a thoughtful person named Rena, walked over with a calm step and introduced herself. I've heard good things about you, she said to Maya. Thank you for being patient that day. It helped us learn faster. Maya appreciated the gentle honesty. Thank you for saying that, she replied. I can see the difference in the store. It feels good. Rena nodded. That is our goal every day, she said. Small steps, done well. They chatted for a minute about baby socks and gift bags, then Maya went on with her shopping. As she left, she saw the entrance sign again. Welcome. Exchanges with a receipt are easy and fast. She smiled. The sign was true now in a way she could feel. Later that evening, Dana reviewed a weekly summary. The notes made her smile. Fewer delays at the service desk, faster approvals for receipts, positive customer comments naming team members who were kind and calm. She sent a short thank you email to the store team with one line in bold, "Proud of your steady steps." She also replied to Maya's earlier message to say thanks for the kind words. It felt right to close the circle. And somewhere in the city, Laura finished her first class at the community center. The teacher had shown how words and tone can lower heat in a tense moment. They practiced saying, "Let's check the facts together," and "Thank you for your patience." Before leaving, Laura stayed behind to ask for extra tips. She did not hide. She did not blame. She said in plain words, "I want to be better." The teacher smiled and said, "You already started." This story did not end with a loud scene. It ended with small, steady choices. A customer kept calm. A bystander watched with care. A worker trusted the system. A teammate spoke up with facts. A leader used policy like a light. A company turned a hard moment into a training moment. And even the person who made the hard call chose to learn. The lesson was simple, like the